Boy, do I have a treat for you today, everybody. I am sharing with you what's in the box for the 2 expansions to Tokaido. It's Crossroads and Matsuri. Now, you'll probably notice that the box I have on the table here is not published by Stonemaier, but is now under Stonemaier Publishing, and I've got the brand new combined box for both of those expansions, and I just want to show you what's in the box, how it makes the game even better than I thought, because Tokaido is one of my all-time favorite games. 100% full stop. I have loved this game since it came out. And I don't know if I've mentioned before, but I got kind of like a sneak peek at Gen Con the year that it was released, and oh my gosh, it just blew me away. Now, when I think about it, I know why it surprised me and why I just fell in love with it. First off, it's a really charming game. It's beautiful. I love the artwork. I love the design. But there's some fantastic mechanisms that I think just so click with me. So definitely the first one is you've got a worker placement. Now I'm going to show you what's in the box, but I also want to show you the map itself, because this is essentially what I'm talking about with the worker placement. I'm going to put that to the side for now. And you'll see here this map, it opens up into a 3-piece accordion where you're actually going to see this track. It's called the East Sea Road. From Kyoto to Edo, and you are traveling along this track, and then there's going to be some check-in points where you get some food. Now, this is the path you follow. It's a linear path, so you've got this track movement, but you have a worker, and you're going to be putting your worker out on an available space. Depending on player count, there might be multiple spaces. So the great thing about worker placement is when you go somewhere, you're blocking that space for someone else, and you always have to move further along in the path. And so you again might have multiple spaces. You'll see here where in a bigger player count, you'll be able to go. Some places just have 1 dot though, and if you're in a smaller player game, then of course you can't go in those spaces if one person is blocking the main path line. So the worker placement is just dynamite. I really, really enjoy that along the track movement. And then more of what I'm going to get into with the expansions show you the variable player powers. There are a ton of these traveler cards that you get to start with that give you a unique ability and starting resources. There's also the set collection with the cards. Now, going back one more, mechanic for this. Whenever you are last in this linear track with your worker, then you get to play again. So you only get to go as many times as players are past you. And that's one of my favorite turn order mechanisms is turn order time track. I love the time track where you spend a certain amount of time doing something and you can possibly go again before somebody else plays their second time or whatever time it is, because you did something that costs a little bit less time. And so that is just another super duper favorite. And of course, there's going to be end game bonuses that you're working up to. So let me bring this guy back out here again. This is what's in Tokaido, Crossroads, and Matsuri. And of course, I just totally threw everything around. I had it very nicely packed. So there we go. Back to the start. So these are going to be all of your traveler tiles. And they're going to, again, be able to give you a certain number of, let's say we've got the money. So up here in the corner, if I put this guy right here, you'll see that they start with $5, but then they also have this special ability, and that's going to be a farms ability. And they all give you something really, really cool. This player starts with less. They start with $3. But are going to give you a choice when it comes to eating and your food stop, which is, again, really great. And I mean, these are just beautiful. I just love it. Like, I could just spend all my time looking at all of this artwork, all of these beautiful designs. I love the names. I love everything that's here. It is just so beautiful. It's just so beautiful. It's so nice. I mean, here we go. Just some dynamite stuff. Okay. So these are just a handful of those travelers. I literally just went through one pile here. You'll see these figures all right here. And then I've got even more down here. So yes and yes. Here's the rest of them. Again, with the design. Just so beautiful. And I am in love with this. So yes, it's going to tell you what's here, and then it tells you on the back, just so you know what your character does, who they are, and essentially why they have the ability that they have. So if you ever wonder, just look on the back and it'll explain it to you. Look at these. These are so cute. They're so beautiful. They are so beautiful. Oh my gosh, this little panda. Oh, the panda. Look at this. Look at this. I'm sorry, I'm going to be done. I promise. I'll stop. But it's beautiful. I love it. So these are, again, all of those traveler cards that you get. Now, I'm going to lay this guy out right here, and this is going to be the board you get. It says Crossroads Matsuri on the back, and then this guy's just going to go across the top above your board, and you are simply going to play these cards out. You don't need to shuffle them. So the very first deck you got here, these are the amulet cards. And amulet cards are going to, I'll talk about the ability for these guys in just a minute, but these are going to be the amulet cards. These guys right here, you're just going to stack down legendary object cards. This stack right here, you'll probably recognize looks like the bathhouses. This is a bathhouse card. And then our next stack right here, this is going to be the calligraphy cards. These are going to be our Matsuri cards. So we're going to place these guys right here. And then we've got our cherry blossom. These are our cherry tree cards. And then we've got our die that goes right there. And then inside of every one of these little tiles, punched out brand new little rucksack victory point tiles. And you'll see some say 4, some say 1 and 2. And you'll just have, oh, and here's one that says 3. You'll have a variety of these points that you're going to be able to earn in the game, and whenever you do, you just take that and put it in front of you. And then these cards are going to be your encounter cards. And so they're going to shuffle. These guys are just going to go to the side, and then you essentially are pretty much ready to go. You've got your player reference tile here. So it's going to remind you what everything is and the choices that you get, because that's really what's going on in this game, is that you are going to have choices. And that's one reason why I really encourage the expansions, is to add the choice. Because normally in a game, you are going to, I'm going to put these beautiful tiles right here, and then I'm just going to take this box away since I have essentially explained it all. Let me drop a couple of these cuties down here. But when you go to these locations that you see right here on your map with your worker, normally you would just do the thing that it says. That's the kind of charming ease with which I played Tokaido originally, but now there's going to be a, would you like to do this or would you like to do that? And so that's really what your player reference card says right here. So the very first thing is your panorama. You can choose to do the panorama. I'm going to pull this guy up right here. You can gain the next sequential card in your panorama depending on a 3, 4, or 5 in a sequence. Or you can gain a cherry tree if available. And so to gain your cherry tree, you will just take it and gain 2 points and 1 coin. And so this is your card right here, and it's just really easy. You're like, there's no sequence, there's no requirements. It gives you a chance to really get something, especially if you're not going to be able to finish your panorama and then gain those bonus points for your panorama. So that's your brand new cherry tree, super duper easy. Your next one is your hot springs. So you can always draw a hot springs card and score it, or you can pay a coin and go to the bathhouse and you're going to score 4 points. So again, it costs a coin, but it's way, way better because instead of getting possible variable points 2 or 3, you're going to get 4 for sure. And look at that design. Again, really, really beautiful. Okay, I'm going to flip over my player card up here. Now the next thing is the farm. Farm just gives you money, or you can bet 2 coins at the gaming room, roll the fortune die, and gain the die result multiplied by 2 coins. And that's this guy right here. So you're going to have a 1, a bust, and then you have a 2, 3, 3, and a 4. So I'm going to, pay my 2 coins, and I get this times 2 coins. Of course I busted. Let's try again. Times 1. So I got my 2 coins back. Not the best, right? Either of those choices would have been a real risk, or I could just take $3 for sure. The temples is going to be your Temple here, normally you would donate to the temple and then score 1 point per coin donated, and you really want to donate because there's that kind of like pecking order at the end. Or you can essentially take one of those amulets, and it's going to give you the amulet, keep it face down until you decide. And it's any available, and that's why they're not shuffled up. You literally get to look, and you're like, okay, which one of these amulets do I want? And it's going to give you your requirement and your bonus, and then you'll just play it. So that's going to be your amulet. They are really, really cool. Okay, so then the shops are the next thing. Normally you would just draw souvenirs. You draw 3, you can purchase 1 or more of them. They're all worth dollars, and they give you your set collection. Or you can buy a legendary object and score it immediately. And these, again, are not shuffled, so you just simply say, I'm going to grab one of these guys, and you just look at all of them. And they're all super duper legendary. They have money, 3, 2, and 1 value, and then it's going to tell you exactly what you get and why it's really, really good. 8! 8! Ah, these are so good. They're so good. Are you kidding me? 8 victory points. Kind of dynamite. Encounters is the pink one. Normally you would just draw an encounter card and do it, and it's freaking cute and adorable. Or you can pay a coin to gain an available calligraphy card, keep it face down. So here's your calligraphy cards right here, and they are going to give you end of games for particular conditions, different kinds of things you have collected over the course of the game. But this is going to essentially be $1. So you have to pay $1 for some of these. They say it on the back. And then the last one is the inns. This is your inns when you go and get food. Place your traveler in the first available space. And now the really cool thing about this is the first person there is going to, once everyone's arrived, draw 2 Matsuri cards, choose one, and then discard the other secretly and apply its effect. So when you're first to get to a place, that's really good. You have to wait for everyone else to get there. The other people getting there last are going to essentially have first dibs because they are last in turn order time track. So the benefit that you get when you go very first is now the Matsuri card, and that is just cool. It's just super duper cool. They have things like this. Each traveler in the order they arrived at the inn may immediately donate to the temple. You can do 1, 2, or 3 coins, gaining that many points. Here's one that's the chrysanthemums. During the arrival at the next inn, whether it's an intermediate one or the final inn, all meal cards cost 1 fewer coin than normal. In addition, the first player to arrive gets 2 meal cards. These cards are all so cool. Here's one. This one's fun. The Naked Man. Until the next inn, each player who stops at a hot spring space may draw an encounter card and apply the effect before making the usual choice for the hot springs. I mean, so cool, right? This is what you get to pick from. This is what you get to pick from. They are so beautiful. They're so beautiful. Again, tons and tons and tons of choices here. Here's one. The amulets. Each traveler who doesn't have an amulet in their collection immediately gains a free amulet randomly drawn from those remaining in the stack. That's what you want to pick whenever you don't have one and everybody else has spent time going to get one. So that's going to be the Matsuri, and that is going to wrap up everything that is in this box and what makes it so cool. So again, Tokaido is a lovely, charming, beautiful, just kind of like relaxing game where you have some of that interaction with the worker placement, right? Someone goes where you need to go. You're always going to have to move forward down the track. You want to maximize your turn. And now with the expansions, you really have more choice. First off, your choice in the base game was just where do you go next in turn order. And sometimes it felt a little automatic, but it was still, in my opinion, charming. But in this one, there are some delicious choices. Whether you have money to invest in bigger, better turns, or you just still take that basic turn and you have a ton of those travelers to play with, and you have a really handy player reference. This has everything you need. It tells you exactly what your choice is, and it's double-sided and super easy to read. So it is lovely. So I just say triple thumbs up for Crossroads and Matsuri together in the expansion for both of them to add on to your base game for Tokaido. And if you have not checked out Tokaido, period, you need to. Again, this is one of my all-time favorites for fantastic mechanisms, for delicious and beautiful artwork, and for a charming feel. When I play Tokaido, I love it from the beginning. I'm having a great time throughout, and I end the game, and it doesn't matter where I finish. I love it. And I don't care if it's a smaller player or a larger player count. And unlike my game, it's a 1 to 5 player game now, so you could even play solo. There wasn't even the solo variant or option when I first played Tokaido, so there's even that. All right, everybody, that's going to be it for me this time. Thanks for checking out what's in the box for the 2 expansions for Tokaido. Again, a favorite of mine. All right, I'll see you later. Bye.